Hey everyone, this is Nina from ROADIE Free Radio. In this clip, Larry talks to Zito, production manager extraordinaire for the likes of Ariana Grande and the Backstreet Boys. Here's what an award-winning PM has to say about the key to his success: focusing on doing one job right and having the best team to help you do it. If you want to hear more from Zito, you can listen to the full episode, number 123 from February 18th, 2019. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Here's Larry and Zito.
Last year, I believe it was, right?
Yep.
Recognized by your peers.
Yeah.
Tourlink's top dog of the year, production manager of the year. There's hundreds and hundreds of bands flying around the country, flying around the world. There's hundreds and hundreds of guys and gals who do what you do. How does it feel to be recognized for what you do? And obviously you're recognized on a yearly, daily, monthly basis just by the caliber of artists that you go out with.
Sure.
Who choose to have you at the helm. But by your peers to be chosen, to be recognized. How's that feel, man?
Well, it was definitely a surreal moment. I've never that's obviously not why you get into this. So to have people recognize that was huge. It was the culmination of a lot of hard work. I've been super focused for a really long time. Anybody that's worked with me, tours with me, has known me, knows I grind. And, I was juggling 4 artists last year, gone over 300 days. I was going from one gig to another. I'd leave this gig, right eye into another one, juggling this thing, jumping on that thing, taking this artist, all over the world. It's just the insanity. And I've been doing that for years, and because I got to hustle. And so I've seen a path for me and where I want to go. I made a pivot from being a sound engineer and a production manager into saying, I want to focus. I'm a really good sound engineer. I'm a really good production manager, but I want to be focused on one. And it was interesting when I pivoted and I said, I'm not mixing anymore. It was hard for me to choose. I lamented and it was turmoil. But when I did that and focused on it, it was instantaneous that the work increased for me. I had more opportunities. I had more calls. The money was better. And I was doing one job that I was already doing before, and I thought, wow, this is crazy. Just by focusing on this, I've been able to, make this be. And it was shocking to me to see that. And so all that to say, the award was affirmation that I made the right decision, that I'm on the right path, and not just for myself, but that other people see it as well. And like you said, to me, the award is cool. What's cool is that I get calls, that people want to offer me work, that I'm even on the list and considered for anything is the biggest honor to me.
Now, when you say you made this pivot, is it strictly toward production managing, or are you also including tour managing in there?
No, nope, strictly production managing. I'm over babysitting, and that was part of the pivot too. In the past, I've done a lot of things. I've tour managed for artists. I've production managed for artists. Done front of house. I've done monitors, and done all of those. I would like to think successfully and pretty well. But I wanted to play to my strong suits, and what I've always been passionate about is the show, the production element, taking this this vision and making it a thing. Mm-hmm. I'm not into babysitting. I'm not into the whole hand holding with the artist. I don't need to hang out with them and get them on and off the plane. I can do it. I'm good at it. I know how it works. It's just not my thing. Yeah. I'm happy to have a conversation with them when they walk in the building and say, hey, welcome. How are you guys today? Anything on your mind? And then let them go on their business. Wish them a good show on the stage, thank them for the hard work at the end of the night, and call it a day. I don't need to have anything more than that. That's not what I'm in it for.
What are you in it for?
I'm in it for that's a really good question. I still get off on the show. The bigger the show, the crazier, the more that goes into it, the logistics of it. That's what I'm in it for. And I love building a community of roadies that can pull off that stuff. That sense of accomplishment when you've busted your ass and made something happen. And most people don't understand the logistics of. We bust our ass, man. It's the bigger the tour, the longer the days. We're getting in and we're chalking at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm in I've always said, as a production manager, I'm in when the guys are in. So if they're talking at 5, I'm in at 5. If we're closing the doors in the truck at 2, I'm there till 2. I'm not going to not be available for my crew. I might not be out there, pulling a tape and marking the floor, but I'm still there because I've got their back, and I want that to be reciprocal. The guys that work for me, I want them to know that I'm a part of the team as well, and that I'm there for them. And then I expect the same from them. And so it's the community, the sense of accomplishment of putting on the show that I really, really enjoy.
If we can stay with a little bit of this for just a second. So you were mixing front of house, you're doing sound engineering, and you were tour managing and production managing, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Aside from the obvious sort of technical, practical, things of mixing and dealing with mixing and being a sound engineer, when you let that go, what were some of the other things, when you say you need to focus, that you wanted to put into focus? Other skills and whatnot?
Well, I think for me, it was the constant feeling of not being overwhelmed. I like the feeling of being overwhelmed. It was I want to crush anything that I do. And so I wanted to make sure that I could put 100% into it. And when I was mixing and production managing, there was just always this list for both things that I could never fully get through. As the production manager, I'd be in the office all day and get to the point where I'd go out and tip my desk and do my line check, tune the PA, and then that'd be it. And I'd have to go back and do my other gig. I never felt like I had a sense of I was caught up, and I didn't like that. And nothing changed that. Right now for me, I work all day, but then the show happens, I get the artists on stage, and I've got 90 minutes or 2 hours of quiet time in the office where there's no chaos and people aren't running up to me with problems or this or that. And it's a moment where I can really collect myself and go through my checklist. And I'm really big on grids and spreadsheets, calendars. So I'm always looking ahead. And that's a good opportunity for me to have a moment of being quiet, just to look through everything at a glance and make sure there's nothing coming up that I'm missing. Because I'm thinking 3 months, 6 months, 9 months down the road. And that can only happen when you're not distracted by things constantly around you. So I think that's been the biggest thing for me, just to be able to focus like that.
So when you think about the requirements specifically to be a production manager, what makes a top-notch production manager? Who's as in demand as you are? Honestly, the keys to my, I don't want to say success, but the keys to my success is putting the best possible team in place. I don't think I have a special sauce. I'm very detail-oriented. I'm very organized. I embrace technology. Those are things that are important to me, but it's also important to me. And I actually had a conversation with a tour manager friend of mine yesterday about that, about some different production managers in the industry, some that have gone really far and some that haven't, and what the difference is. And for me, I want the absolute best people I can hire in any position. And I'm not threatened by bringing somebody in. I'm 20 years in the business. I'm not threatened to bring in somebody that's been there 30 or 40 and done more. If I haven't done something, I want to bring somebody on the team that has done it. There's no shame. A lot of guys get really insecure. I've already got the gig. It's my gig. I just need to execute it, right? And for me to execute the plan, I need to have the best people in place all the time. And so I look for the best stage manager I can find, and the best rigger, and the best crew chiefs, and the best carps. I want the absolute best people for the job. And that's what has worked for me. That's what's going to keep working for me. And that's what's going to keep me employed for a long time. I'm just not threatened by, I want the team to be a part of the success. I'm not threatened when the stage manager comes into me and says, this isn't the way to do it. This is the way we should do it. Okay, let's talk it out. What are your thoughts? Okay, cool. If you have a better idea or better execution, let's absolutely do that. I've got no ego, really. It's about what's going to be best for the gig. And it's something I've really focused on for a long time. Hey, what's happening, roadies? It's Larry here. Just wanted to thank you so much for listening to this short clip. I really hope you got something out of it. If you can take 2 seconds to head over to iTunes and drop us a review or a comment, we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Keep listening, keep coming back, stay healthy out there, and remember, no roadies, no rock and roll.